And then all the gentlemen, you know, either have seats in the back or you can stand. But we would love for the ladies to come up front. Because, you know, we're number one, right?
All right.
All right. So let's switch places right quick. And then his flag changes. He got out, y'all remember that picture with Barack Obama? And he got out that car and he had that smooth look. Yeah. I was like, okay, what is he doing? I was like, okay, I gotta get on to this too. And I missed the opportunity. I was like, okay, I think I might want to go ahead and just read this. And then he gave me the opportunity to go to the Super Saturday. Who all went to that? Wasn't that the bomb? Oh, yeah. That was so great. I mean, I was sold, but I ain't let him know. And I was like, you know, but when I was going back home, because it treated you so well, and it was like, I felt like I was a diamond already. You know, so when I got back, I happily joined, you know, and I have been having some great exposure, you know, meeting new people and doing what you call the smaller CJ, and to have really have an official one yet. However, it's so cool when you're able to talk to people about something that is making you healthy. You know, and if you drink this all day long, you can look, everybody got a cup of coffee in their hand, almost, you know. So if it makes you healthy, you can drink it, feel good, and still get paid off of it. I'm ready. You know, so without further ado, I don't want to take up too much time because I can't get overbearing. I would love for you, for those who do not know, I will present to others, introduce to some, none other than our Mr. Kevin Gray, who is, you're an emerald. No, you're a ruby.
I'll take that.
Emerald.
Yeah,
because
I take that.
his whole demeanor says diamond all day
Awesome.
long. So by October, we will be going diamond.
Oh, yeah.
Can y'all believe that?
Oh, yeah.
I know, right? I am so excited about it.
How's everybody doing?
We're doing great.
It's actually a new flavor of coffee. We got to be mixing it right now. Coffee delicious, okay?
There we go.
Just a little bit of information about myself. I actually started in Organo Gold approximately about 2.5 years ago. I've got a background in corporate communications. I'm a military brat. I like to say I'm raised in Virginia. That's where I went to high school at and college. But in all actuality, I've kind of been everywhere. I've lived in Washington, D.C., I've lived in Atlanta, Georgia, I've lived in Germany, I've lived in Alabama, of course, Virginia. I've lived in a few different places. But I can tell you, one of the things that my family instilled in me is hard work. You know, I've been a hard worker for, I would say, the majority of my life. But what I noticed is that, you know, no matter how hard you work, if you've got, you know, that champagne taste, it always seems to balance out, right? And not in a good way. Not in a good way. So I've always liked nice things, and I'm like, look, I'm willing to work hard for them, but you know what? It just seems like, hey, you know, you just can't get ahead. I remember sitting at my desk in, what was it? It was September 2010, actually August 2010, and I was working my full-time job at a major IT communications firm out here, as well as working a part-time job as a communication specialist, actually as a contractor over at Best Buy. And, you know, I was just saying to myself, I need to make much more money, but spend much less time. Because I was probably working about 65, 70 hours a week. And guys, God answered my prayers. I actually got a text from a young lady by the name of Miss Taurea Avant. She actually was here yesterday. She was actually here yesterday. How many of you guys know that when your prayers are answered, if you ask for something, it will always be sent to you in the form of a person? Okay, so I asked for something. I said, you know what? I need to make more money, but spend less time. I need this to happen. So she sent me this text and asked me if I heard of this company by the name of Organo Gold. Now guys, I'm going to tell you a secret right now. I know you see this cup. Some of you guys might be able to see the contents of the cup without me tipping it over. It's coffee in here, but I'm not really a true coffee drinker. Before this company, I had less than 5 cups of coffee in my life. I remember the last time I had a cup of coffee before I got involved with Organo Gold. I live in the university area. I remember I left from university at 3 in the morning to go to Virginia, Hampton, Virginia, and I was tired. And I said, people always drink coffee to keep them up. I stopped at the local gas station, got some coffee, and immediately spit it out and just walked out. I paid for it and I just tasted it. No, it just left. So she sent me this text, asked me if I heard of this company by the name of Organo Gold. never heard of in my life. And I sent her a text back saying, Mr. Bond, that sounds cool and everything, but I don't drink coffee. This is the thing. Right? She sent me a text right back and said the CEO of Korean Dog Chow doesn't necessarily eat food. So I said, okay, you have a point. You have a point there. So what I did is, because she also did some great things before in her career in home-based business, she made about $150,000 in less than 6 months in a previous deal. So that was a lot of credibility with me. We all have people in our life who, I don't even want to portray this wrong, but if they say something, you're willing to take another look at it, even if it sounds a little crazy, because they just have so much credibility within you, right? Okay, so I said, you know what, whatever you're doing, okay, count me in. Because if you can make 150 grand in less than 6 months, and I can't make that work in a whole year, every time I talk to you, you get your nails done, your hair done, you out in Italy somewhere, yeah, I want your life. That's the way I felt. I want your life. You know, I wasn't, hey, I'm humble. I'm like, look, whatever you're doing, I want in. But within about 6 weeks, I was able to let that part-time job go, okay? Within 6 months, I was able to let my full-time job go. Now, guys, I'm here to tell you that if you want to continue working your full-time jobs, I mean, some of you guys, I'm sure, have very nice jobs that you love, you want to keep, by all means, keep them. But the thing is, I'm sure you wouldn't be opposed if we could show you how to bring in an additional $2,000 to $5,000 per month in income. Because in all actuality, in all reality, we all know that if people who went through foreclosures or went through repossessions, if they would have had an extra $500 to $1,000 in their pocket, that wouldn't happen. You guys know that, right? You can actually go on CNN.com and go in the little search box, and you can look up that article. That's documented. An extra $1,000 a month, and a lot of us wouldn't be in the crisis that we are in or just got out of, aka recession. Well, working in this industry, guys, has been such a blessing. Picked up a brand new skill. I had no experience with this before. No experience. I don't like to talk a lot about my success, but I'll tell you about the success of some of the people that have helped me along the way. Miss Taurea Avant, only 32 years old, just celebrated her 32nd birthday on Cinco de Mayo. She is one of 2 single female African Americans that reached the level of diamond in the company Organo Gold. Okay, so I want you guys to realize, the guests that are here, I want you to understand the leadership. You see me, but you also see who I'm learning from. So we've got Miss Taurea Vision. She also has an organization that's doing anywhere between $200,000 up to $500,000 per month in coffee revenue. If we got some business people in here, I want you to think about the sales of your own companies. Okay, $200,000 up to $500,000 per month in revenue. She's been able to do this in just under 2.5 years. She was brought in by a gentleman by the name of Mr. Coleman. Now, guys, get this: Mr. Coleman is actually going to be in Charlotte this month. We're setting up with Taurea Avant first. About a week and a half later, Mr. Coleman will be here. Mr. Coleman has one of the best stories in all of Organo Gold. I will tell it because he puts it out there for the whole world to know. He's even got it on the internet. Mr. Coleman was actually locked up in 2007 with Michael Vick, not for dog fighting, but for a street pharmacy. You know, right? I'll let him tell his story, but I'll at least give you this tidbit. When he got out, he obviously could not work a job. Obviously, right? They're not really handing out jobs to felons, right? So he could not work a job, but he did have enough hustle within him, and hustle is not a bad word if you're hustling the right way, right? He had enough hustle to get out there and start selling these flat irons, because ladies, y'all do like to look good, right? So he started selling these flat irons. He made about 6 figures in a year selling flat irons. But that really wasn't enough for him, because he had a background in other than the streets, as being an entrepreneur in real estate and owning barbershops, beauty salons, and everything. And someone noticed him. You will be surprised that everything that you do, and I'm talking to the men here. You know, everything that you do. You know, us as all black men here. Everything that you do, people are really paying attention. And someone was paying attention to this man, a young lady by the name of Helen Delahousse. And she said, you know what? I like what you're doing. I like how you're moving. Let me show you how you can increase your income. And he said, nah, I'm good. I'm good. She left him alone. They're at some sort of a hair show. And then she walked back over there about 10 minutes later. I'm not leaving until you come over here and see what's going on. I'm not leaving. So he went and saw what was going on. Saw a product that he could market. He didn't know he was marketing, but he marketed and made about $500,000 in just under 2 years in the home-based business industry. He was introduced to the business by a gentleman by the name of Mr. Edward Hartley. Mr. Edward Hartley is out of Atlanta, Georgia. He owns one of the largest minority construction firms in all of the East Coast. Mr. Hartley is what we call a blue diamond. He's one of our elite diamonds in the company. He's actually making, I would say, just over $1 million in income. When I met Mr. Hartley, it wasn't that he was doing bad, because obviously owning a $10 million construction company, you're doing pretty well. But when I met him, he was driving a Infinity, the smaller Infinity SUV. You know, he's pretty much, you know, his suits were okay. You know, they were all right. They were nice looking, but they weren't like they are now. You know, I got pictures to prove it. Like, when I get some time, y'all, you know, y'all just see me on my iPad. You're like, look, show me Mr. Hartley before. So he was doing well, but he's totally switched up swag. I'm talking about, you know, tailored custom suits, and you know, just bought a multi-million-dollar home. Some of the distributors, I'm letting you know right now, that home will be open to us to bring guests down and really see what the Organo Gold lifestyle is all about. Mr. Hartley was introduced to the business by a gentleman by the name of Mr. David Emelitier. Mr. Emelitier, the objective is to get Mr. Emelitier out to Charlotte, North Carolina in July. He wants to come. He's 29 years old, about to turn 30 on July 6th. Multi-millionaire, but in the world of home-based business, get this, there's 100 million people in all of home-based business worldwide. I'm talking about Tokyo, China, Peru, USA, I'm talking about everywhere. You know, everything that excludes the solar system. This guy is the number 33 income earner in the entire world of network marketing. He wants to come to Charlotte. So part of the reason for introducing superstars like Charlene Henderson into the business, and you know, all the distributors that we have right here, you know, people like Mark and Keisha Harris, you know, is because we're building for something big. We got something called Project 1000 going on. You know, I just did a launch call for Mr. BJ Murphy, as well as his wife Vanessa yesterday. And with that Project 1000, we're actually going to be filtering about 1,000, but you will believe what you know. All right? What's the average income in the United States right now? Household income? About 40,000. 50,000 in income, the average person is making. And we're not going to talk about anybody's income in this room, but what I want you to imagine is the people that you get involved in Organo Gold, they're going to be making 30,000, 50,000, hopefully a little bit more, because people that have the higher levels of influence tend to do very well with this opportunity. We've got a bunch of them that have started. But I want you guys to see something. We've got the average income, 50,000 all across America, right? A $50,000 per month income averaged out to be, I'm pretty good at math, averaged out to be about $2,700 per month after taxes and 401k. Does that sound about right?
That's good.
Will you guys go with that? Okay. I'm just talking about any Fortune 500 company or any job that you have with a $50,000 salary or household income. That means you're netting out about $2,700 a month in net income, right? Because what we're doing today is we're going to change your thinking. About $2,700 a month in net income. What's the average? Do we live in a house? Do we rent? What do we do? We're in a house. Okay. What's the average living expense for a house or an apartment? What do we want to say? So I want to do this math for y'all real quick, so y'all can see exactly what we're facing.
About $1,500.
About, you say about 1,500? Anybody else want to? I mean, they got some apartments out here, 2 bedrooms, about 700, right?
I know it. You have to pay for it.
Where?
Okay.
Food.
So you say 1,500? Y'all ain't really ring 7.
Yeah, mine's about 1750.
You saying 1,750? I tell you what, let's go ahead and we found a deal for $1,000, right? $1,000 for living expenses. That takes care of our mortgage or our rent. I'm just saying.
Where?
I'm just saying. They got them out here somewhere.
I'm trying to find it.
Just the mortgage. That's none of the other bills.
Right. That's just the
Oh, that's just the one you said.
Yeah, that's just the mortgage.
Oh,
So that's just the mortgage. Okay. So that leaves us at $1,700 in income, right? Well, $1,700 that we still got now. Now, do we drive?
yeah.
I mean, you know, we making $50,000 a year, most likely. You know, we driving an Accord or a Camry or something that's about $20,000, right? So that car payment is about $400. Okay. So we got to subtract that. We got to subtract that $400 car payment. How much is our insurance? Okay. Okay. So that's 1,300. Okay. So I'm gonna say about 150. So we got about 1150 left, right? Now, do we have any kids? Raise your hand if you got kids. Okay, so we got about a third of the room have kids. How much would y'all say kids cost per month? How much would y'all say?
We have to buy lunch.
Can we get away with 200 for the kids?
Yeah, 200.
Huh?
But you still forgot the gas, electric, and telephone.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get to that.
Oh,
That's
okay.
about $300 a month. If you buy lunch.
Okay, so let's go with $300. So we're at what are we at? Well, we're at 1150. We minus 150. Okay, so we're at 850. Okay.
Okay.
So we already remember this. So I'm just gonna don't nobody take a picture of this and say I can't do no math because I'm about to put 850 right here. But we know how we got the 850, right?
Right.
So we got the 850. Okay. Now you were saying we got some utilities as well, right?
Right.
So we got an electric bill. How much is our average electric bill? 200 plus gas.
Right. Yeah.
150.
Okay. Plus anybody in here got a cell phone? One of them C.
Everybody.
Is my grandmother says C little phones.
125.
C little.
You send me my food?
So I would say on average about $100 for that. So we got between gas, electric, and cell phone. That's about $500, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just gonna put minus 500 right here.
We gonna eat this month?
I'm about to ask you, are we gonna eat? How much should we spend on average on food?
That 350
200, maybe 4.
depends on that one.
Let's go with
kid.
200 because we're already at 350. All right. Now
Wait, wait.
we got this nice salary at $50,000 a year. We got the car, but have we drove to work yet?
Gas.
How much we spending in gas?
Oh,
How much we spending in gas? You said
$40 a week. $40 a week. No.
$40 a week?
50 of
$50 a week? Okay, let's just go ahead and say
that away.
150
Yeah,
covers gas for the month,
Can't see
right?
the movie.
So,
no.
what else do we have?
Can't see.
Basically,
You basing this on it?
Yeah, we old.
we got some more bills somewhere, right?
Credit.
Yeah. Credit card.
I mean, do we like entertainment? Do we go to the movies? You know, go out and,
Listen, we didn't go to
you know, are
the
we taking our ladies out or are we doing any of that?
Out dinner.
Okay, Will? So the reason why I wanted to do this real quick, the reason why I wanted to do this is for the guests, right? Because let me tell you right now, you get involved in what we're talking about, somebody's going to tell you that this is a scam, right? They're going to say, what you doing is a scam. You selling that scam coffee.
They say
Scam coffee.
Why would they say that?
Well, because they don't understand that you can get paid off of giving away free coffee. But I say the scam is the way we've been thinking the entire time.
That's
Right.
Right? See, what we've been doing is trying to make ends meet with all those bills, right? Ends were never made to meet. They were never made to meet. So if you actually add another $2,000 to $5,000 to your income,
We alright, we gonna eat.
Yeah, we gonna
you
eat.
can eat everything. You can take them to McDonald's and be like, baby, you can put cheese on it. How much? 59 cents for some cheese? Baby, you put cheese on it. Guys, get back with get back with the person who invited you. With all jokes aside, guys, we are going to do some amazing things out here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Some amazing things. You will be surprised already who has aligned themselves with this company. You got major pastors. I want you to think about some of the largest churches that you can think of in this area. They are in Organo Gold. You got custom suit makers that are in Organo Gold. You got former VPs of banks that are in Organo Gold. You got you got radio DJs who have the top spot in the morning They're in Organo Gold. You know, you got executives at banks that are in Organo Gold right now, right? So what are we waiting on? What are we waiting on? I already gave you the blueprint. I already gave you the example. We see what's going on, right?
Right.
But who gave us that formula? But guys, I have not seen one person get rich, filthy rich. Well, that's our goal per month.
That's the goal.
And we will be $1 billion company.
What's the current market of coffee sales in there?
In America, I would say 255 million coffee drinkers just in America alone.
Absolutely.
Knowing what you know right now, right? Okay. Well, if that's the case, we've got something bigger than Starbucks. That's why we brought you all here today. Mr. Emonitier was introduced to Organo Gold by Mr. Holton Buggs. Mr. Holton Buggs is going to do the presentation for us this evening. Get this, fellas, he's 40 years old. He is the #1 income earner in the entire world, out of 100 million people in direct sales. He's the only African American to get it done. He's got a system that he has built that I'm telling you, somebody in middle school, I'm going to skip high school, somebody in middle school can do the system. I'm talking about it's so easy. All we do is give away free coffee, show this DVD, and 2 out of 5 people get in, and the numbers don't lie. So it's all about activity. So what I'm saying to you, if you can picture yourself with an additional $2,000 to $5,000 a month in income, definitely please, I encourage you to take some notes, enjoy the video. Just a little bit more information about Mr. Buggs. He also drives a Lamborghini Aventador. He just bought his wife a 28.5 carat ring. His son is a major recording artist, Trey Buggs. You can follow him, just see what he's all about. But he's also the master of belief. You know, before this company, it's not that I didn't really like to read books, but let's get real. A lot of times we just don't have time to do as much reading as we would like to. But this gentleman is one of the people that's been so instrumental in my life as far as personal development. And guys, he'll just have your mind on a whole different level of just the things that he recommends, and he also practices what he preaches. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and ask Keisha to go ahead and play the coffee. We can get some more music playing again. I'll be here to answer any questions. But God bless y'all.
Thank you.